Hello and welcome to episode 35 of the Statesmanship Project. In this episode, I want to talk about relationships, particularly dating, for young men. Because in order to be a statesman, one must be able to perpetuate the future of society. And the way you do that is by having children, unless you're called to be part of the clergy. So, if your vocation is to be a father, to be a husband, then hopefully this information helps. First thing you have to understand is don't be afraid of women. They are people just like you, and they're looking for companionship as well. Now, I know that there are seemingly a lot of crazy girls out there, but most girls just want to be appreciated for who they are. Problem is, we live in a society without male leadership, so they don't have the opportunity to fully embrace their femininity, because that is the only way that a woman can really embrace her femininity, is when she's in the presence of the true masculine. And we want to be able to perpetuate this for them. We want to be the full masculine so that they can embrace their full feminine. And so, in the dating world, we see a lot of allegedly crazy girls out there. They do crazy things, they don't know what they want, they don't know what they're doing, act insane. A lot of this stuff is hyped up by the internet. So you need to understand that a woman, generally speaking, is not this way, especially in private. What you want to do is be consistent. Be honest and have integrity. Be very genuine. Don't try to make a girl laugh. Just be polite and be yourself. Take, for example, if you're in the gym and you have a quote-unquote gym crush, and you see her, she works out at roughly the same time you do every day, and she's not one of the Instagram girls who films everything she does. She's just there to exercise and go about her day. And let's say you know that she's single. Even if you don't know that she's single, it's ambiguous. Unless you see her actively talking to her boyfriend, chances are good you are okay to just approach her. But what you want to do in the approach is just be nice. Just say hello, introduce yourself, and ask her name, and say something to the effect of, I see you working out here at the same time that I do. If you ever need a spot or help with anything you're doing, just let me know, and I'll be over here. And the next time, you just let that float. Whatever she says, she might say, okay, thanks. It's nice meeting you. And then you go about it. And then the next time you see her, you say hi. Make sure you say her name. If her name's Sherry, you say, hi, Sherry. I don't know. That was the first name that came to my mind. I was just thinking of Steve Perry's song, Oh Sherry. And you do that, Next time you see her, be like, hi, how are you? How you doing today? Good. How's your training session? What are you working on? Oh, cool. I'm working on this. Stuff like that. And then it's a long game. You don't have to win her over or woo her over in the first conversation you have with her. Just go slow. And if she doesn't perpetuate the conversation beyond a couple words, don't worry about it. Don't push it. Don't force it. But a woman who wants a husband is going to look for someone who is consistent, someone who is dedicated. You don't have to have the biggest arms in the gym, but if you're working on getting bigger arms, she'll notice and appreciate that. Trust me, girls like big arms. So the other thing you have to keep in mind is that women respond to their environment. And so the environment that a lot of women are in is not stable or sound, and so they have to adapt to crazy in order to survive. And so if a woman appears crazy when you first meet her, or just has some seemingly less than responsible tendencies, I'm not sure how I want to phrase that, Don't rule her out as a possible mate. So I know a guy. He was met this girl at a yoga class. Yoga classes are good places to meet girls. Don't be above doing yoga. I'm telling you right now, it'll be good for you. That's how my wife and I got to know each other. We went to yoga classes together. If you see her in the video today, you know it was worth it. But anyway, guy met a girl in a yoga class, and this girl was actually dating a girl at the time that they met. And now this dude is engaged to be married to her. And they're trying for a baby. So, yeah, girls will adapt. They will change to their environment. And if you provide for them a very masculine, very stable, very loving and comforting environment, they will embrace the fullness of their femininity. So don't be afraid of women in that regard. Most of the time they don't know what they want. What they want is security, safety, protection. They want someone who's going to be dedicated to them and to their children, whether they're even consciously aware of it or not. Like I said, they reflect a lot of what society tells them they ought to project. And our society is insane. So you can't be afraid of women, especially if they have seemingly bizarre political views. My wife was a Democrat, voted for Barack Obama, and supported abortion when I met her. She is now back to being a regular Catholic and accepts all the church doctrines, which means, of course, she opposes abortion. And she knows that the government is a criminal organization. She didn't even vote. She knows that it's a waste of time, and the government is a criminal organization. These are huge wins. She knows that taxation is theft. So, a woman will adapt to the environment that you present to her. I don't know, it doesn't make any sense. And before I ramble too long, just don't be afraid. If a girl likes you, she's going to be just as nervous about talking to you as you are about talking to her. And so the easier you can make that conversation, the better. Just be nice, be polite. Don't add anything to it. If she wants to talk to you more, she will. Just be consistent. Just say hi. Make sure you say her name and ask her how she's doing. And if the conversation goes from there, it will. Like if you're in the gym, She's like, I'm working on chest today. Maybe, do you know any good bench press variations that I can do that'll help? And maybe you do. Maybe you can help her. It's a hypothetical. I'm not saying it'll work. Maybe she's into yoga, and maybe you know nothing about yoga. And just ask her, be like, hey, when's your next yoga class? I'd like to try it out. And she'll be like, oh, okay, yeah, it's now. And then you can set up in the class, and if she puts her mat next to yours, it's a good thing. But if she's there before you, you can, either set up next to her or not. But, talk to her afterwards and see how the class was for her. This doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't have to be difficult, and you don't have to be afraid. I feel like I'm meandering at this point, and I don't want to talk just to talk. I don't know if any of this is helpful to anyone, but I hope that it offers some assistance. I like to think I've done pretty well for myself. My wife is beautiful. We have a house together, and I own my own gym, which, since it's a home gym, I am the biggest and strongest and best looking person here. Well, except for my wife, but I'm the best looking guy. So, I got that going for me. So, goals, right? You can either take steroids and be the biggest guy in the gym, or you can get your own home gym and then be the biggest guy there. I digress. I'm getting off topic. These are long-term goals for some people. Was for me. It took me like 15 years to get everything I have in this gym, so don't think it happened quickly. It takes time. Slowly accumulate things. And same thing with women. Just be patient. Be polite, be courteous, be present. Don't try overly hard to make them laugh or anything. Just be genuinely yourself. And if you're genuinely yourself and she responds to that, that's good. It's very good. It means she'll continue to respond to who you are in the relationship. And don't be afraid. It's a scary world we live in, but you don't have to be afraid. Thanks for tuning in. I hope this has been helpful. I think I have one more of these until we're on vacation for about 2 weeks. So enjoy the content. Thanks for tuning in. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them below. And until next time, have a good day.